Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, May 15th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Where to begin? I don't have the breakout anymore, but it was above this 295.43 channel top, anticipating. I suppose I do show it here. Well, I show a lot of other things as well. But the settlement that was Friday of last week indicated this low 350s to 363.04 descending two-thirds speed line as an objective. And we have met it now, essentially, 250.97. I can show that on the weekly chart. That is this former two-year channel top that we closed above and launched a significant rally. This is back in November, almost to the 513.36 5-year channel top, and we came back, closed below it. It still has bearing. Also, 351.39 is a 50% upside retracement from that December high against the more recent April low. So there's a lot going on in the low 350s, and I'm going to say that we have tested it. Now, does that mean you should be short now? I think there's a certain case to be made for that, especially if you can kind of scale into a short position, because we still, we closed just off the highs, and this is the highest we have been in several months. And so there's no sign yet that the rally has exhausted itself, but we are pushing into a meaningful price ceiling that begins at 350.97, ends at 363.04. This area is narrowing gradually, and by this time next week, we'll converge into a single point. So I think you can scale into a short. Could you be all in right now in a short position? I think you could be. Just know that you need to endure, perhaps, the possibility of pushing into the low 360s over the next day or two before the market then would presumably rotate south. Now, obviously, there's no assurance that we will rotate south from the low 350s, low 360s. We actually could close above 363.04 in the coming days, and I can address that right now. What I would anticipate then, if we were to close above this 363.04 descending two-thirds speed line over the next few days, I would expect a longer-term bullish continuation, which is to say through the rest of the year or until it takes to reach 513.36. This 5-year channel top, I think, would be in play again if we were to close the week not only above 350.97 but also above 363.04. But until then, this is your long liquidation short setting territory between 350.97 and 363.04. And, this 347.09 rising channel top we mentioned as a possible session containment level, we pushed through that, obviously, on Wednesday. We even closed above it. So it kind of lacks, it's hard to say. We could hold above 347.09 today and push on to 363.04. That is a possibility. But given the fact that we are right in the low 350s or just about there, I've diminished it to just a minor point. Our downward pivot point right now on an intraday basis, as you can see over here, is 337.00. And that is nothing more than yesterday's low. This is the highest we've been in 3 or 4 months. And so this is a pullback high we're in right now. 337.00 has a downward pivot point qualities just based on that alone. And if we were to push onto a new high above yesterday's 350.00, say push to 351.39 or even a little higher, and then fall back to close below 337.00, then we've got a key reversal high or a bearish engulfing pattern in candlestick speak, which is an even stronger sign of an overbought market that is inclined to correct to the downside. Now, what I would see if we had a wild day today, and I don't expect it, but we did just come off of meaningful resistance. I need to remind you of that. And so breaking 337.00 wouldn't surprise me today. I don't expect it necessarily, but there is a scenario. We open below 347.09, this channel top. It holds early in the morning. We break to 337.00, and then it doesn't hold. We violate 337.00, break it, And yes, especially if it's early enough in the day, we could test 319.02 on an intraday basis. 319.02 can contain today's lows if tested. 337 even is an intraday pivot point, above which we can quite easily continue testing the low 350s and even push through here perhaps to test 363.04. That is all true above yesterday's 337 even low. But if we break 337 even, we could see long liquidation, meaningful long liquidation on an intraday basis, just given the fact that we tested this overhead resistance area. The market, prone to bearish rotation now, and that becomes more full-fledged, at least on an intraday basis, below 337 even. 319.02 attainable, below 337 even, able to contain session weakness. And it could be stair-step on the way down, but I just want to say that as we're testing the low 350s, low 360s, this narrowing range of resistance, probably better shown right here. As we're testing it, I think you can prepare for, if you're setting a short, this newly formed rising channel bottom at 279.27, which we show way below here. 279.27, I do think becomes a possible 3 to 5 day objective. Not when I say possible, it becomes an objective. The question is whether it takes 3 to 5 days or 1 to 2 weeks. I don't have them on both charts, but if we were to close below 319.02, which is right about here on the chart, if we were to close below 319.02, you could see how with recent volatility, we could fall to 279.27 channel support by the end of next week, where we could bottom out through the following week and round up again. If over the next few weeks we close below 279.27, I think we have a good high through the month of June, and we should collapse back at least into this sort of 220s area within several weeks, possibly even lower. 279.27 is our downward pivot point as we continue into June-July trade. But until then, it's a solid support area that I'm going to call right now a 2 to 3 week target. As long as we're continuing to test this low 350s to low 360s area, that 279 channel bottom right here remains a 2 to 3 week target. We should have both on the same chart. So we'll have to get on that. We'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, is there anything else to say? I do want to mention that this week, Wicked Stocks did put out 2 stock picks, EQT and Wingstop. The previous week, I could go on and on. I forget usually what they are in this moment. But check out wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You can see all of our individual stock picks. We put out 2 a week. We're always looking for 20% plus moves on those underlying stock picks. If we see a good buy signal setting up and we only see like a 10% move because we're hitting another significant price point within a period of time, we just don't present it. We're always looking for those that have meaningful potential on a 3 to 5 week out to a 3 to 5 month basis. And you'll also see our daily Triple Q and daily SPY analysis, our weekly Apple stock analysis. So check us out at wickedstocks.com. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Friday's Tesla, and you have a great evening.